It looks like we got a few people in here, so good evening, guys. I'll wait till 6:30 before we get started, maybe a couple minutes after. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, everybody's okay and fared fairly well from the storm. Um, we got 11 people in here. How does everything sound and how does everything look? Okay, thank you. Fantastic. I appreciate it, folks. All right. We'll probably wait one more minute or so and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. For hopefully everybody in here knows who I am. If not, I'm Eric. I'm with Lake Area Storm Spotters. Each month we will do a public training where everybody is welcome to attend. Um, Brendan, it just says Boomer 318, so I wasn't sure who that was, but thank you for letting me know who that was. Also, spotters, if you guys are in here, let me know who you are so I can make sure you guys get free for. So I got Brendan, and I think that Derek is going to be Hannah, I believe, and then of course Steve. Anyway, usually about once, well, at least once a month, we do these trainings. Just kind of get people a little more aware of what severe weather is, what weather period is. Last month we did radar. This month we're just doing thunderstorms. So we did this last week. Okay, I figured it was Hannah. I appreciate it. But I did this last week, but my video wasn't sharing. So we're going to do this again. All right. Let's do, 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 do. Oh, Okay. I'm gonna have to log into YouTube on my phone real quick. So bear with me because I can't. I'm gonna have to log into YouTube on my phone real quick. Let me bring that up. Bear with me because I can't. I'm gonna have to log into. And guys, if we have questions as we go through this, please ask. I'm gonna have to log in. And guys, go through this. Please ask. I'm gonna have to log in. Guys, go through this. Please ask. I'm gonna have to log in. Go through this. Please ask. Okay. Where is there an echo? Okay, and have echoes on this. Where is there an echo? If not, we will go ahead and get. Okay, and have. If there is an echo somewhere, is there an echo? We will go ahead and get. Okay, and have. If there is an echo somewhere, is there an echo? We will go ahead and get. Okay, and have. If there is an echo somewhere, is there an echo? We will go ahead and get. Okay, and have. If there is an echo somewhere, is there Anna, is it? Go ahead and get. Okay, and have. If there is an echo somewhere, is it doing it right now? Anna, is it? Or did it quit? If there is an echo somewhere, is it doing it right now? Anna, is it? Is it doing it right now? Anna, is it? Is it still doing it, guys? Is it doing it right now? Anna, is it? Okay, so then let me. Is it still doing it, guys? Just do it this way. Is it doing it right now? Anna, is it? Okay, so then let me. Is it still doing it, guys? Just do it this way. Is it doing it right now? Cleared out of it on my phone. So let me. Is it still doing it, guys? And we'll see if it clears off. Is it doing it right now? Cleared out of it on my phone. So let me. Could be because I had to bring my. Is it still doing it, guys? And we'll see if it clears off. Is it doing it right now? Cleared out of it on my phone. I think so. I got Facebook. So let me. Could be because I had to bring my. Is it still doing it, guys? And we'll see if it clears off. Is it doing it right now? Cleared out of it. Let me. Could be because I had to bring my. Is it, guys? There's that. And then just the live stream. Yeah, so that's I've shut everything down that I don't need. Is that any better? Now it's normal. Okay. I'm wondering if it's because I had my phone on it as well. Did it do it? Did it do it? Did it do it? Did it pull up or not? Bear with me just a couple minutes, guys. I'm trying to get this ironed out. Interesting. So let's just do this. And then bring this in. Okay, so how does this look? Can you guys see the PowerPoint okay? We've got two choices. I can either make the presentation big where everybody can see it and miss the questions until the very end, or I can leave it small like this and still see the questions as they come up. So you guys tell me. Option 1 is to leave it small where I can see the questions. Option 2 is make it big. Do we wanna make it I vote option 1. So you want it to be big? I'm sorry, guys. I done forgot which one was which. So do you want it big or small? Okay, so you want it big. Alright. Yes, big question at the end and small okay, then that's what we'll do. So let's go ahead and do that then. Alright, so once I make this big, I won't be able to see any questions, and we will just go through them on the end. So, if you get them as we go through, be sure to post them, and then at the end, I will alright, guys. So as you can tell from this video, from the bottom, it was supposed to have been done last week, and we actually did, but later on, I found out that nobody could see the PowerPoint. So, here we go. This month, we are doing thunderstorms, okay? Just generalized thunderstorms. So my whole goal is to take pieces of each event, um, like thunderstorms, tornadoes, lightning, hail, all of them, and dive deep into each one, kind of like in the form of a boot camp. Boot camp. Then in the end, we'll just have like a big combined training of all of it. We'll do radar again as well on this platform so that we can record it as we go. All right, so what exactly is a thunderstorm? And if I've got my big monitor over here, so I apologize if I look away from the screen because I'm just reading what I guess I can read down here. A thunderstorm is a weather event characterized by lightning, thunder, and cumulonimbus clouds, typically producing heavy rain, gusty winds, and some small hail, sometimes hail. They form when warm, moist air rises rapidly in a cooling region's atmosphere. These storms can occur singularly, singularly or in a cluster and are most common in spring and summer afternoons. So that's a little misleading. Uh, Thunderstorms happen year round. We've had some really big tornadoes in December. Um, just I don't know, I think it was like 21 or something like that. 20. We had what was initially called the Quad State tornado that went through Missouri, uh, Kentucky, Illinois. I can't remember what other state. The one that collapsed the Amazon place. Um, Night of the Twisters. That was based off a real event in Nebraska, and that was in November. So most common, yes, in the spring and summer, but storms can happen year round. Dead of winter, it doesn't matter. All right, so we're gonna play this video real quick. Now, this video is based out of Australia, but the information still is across the board. Maybe. How do I get it to play? Nope, maybe. Okay, let's try this. For this video, we'll go ahead and just do this. You gonna play or not? Okay, well, maybe. Okay, so I think that's what it was. Come on now. Why are you fighting me? You know what? Let's just. Okay, good deal. Okay, so like I said, that's based in Australia. The I'm getting feedback. Um, I forgot what anyway, that's so their warm months is our cold months. So basically, that timeline is just flopped. The busiest time for us is our springtime, which is going to be from March to usually June. Sometimes in June we get some big thunderstorms as well. Um, they were talking about the updraft and downdraft. We're not going to dive into that tonight, but we will in future trainings. All right, so there are four main types of thunderstorms, and here in Missouri, we experience all of them: single cell, multi cell, squall line, and supercells. Over the last week, we've literally experienced all of these: single cells, multi cells, squall line, supercells. Um, and like I said, it's all been in this 1 week. What is a single cell? So a single cell is also called a pulse storm. So you hear single cells kind of happen a lot more during the summertime. Thunderstorms, they're small, weak storms that can last 20 to 30 minutes. They form in low wind shear environments, producing heavy rain, lightning, and sometimes gusty winds or small hail. So like I said, these are going to be more like your kind of summertime storms and the heating of the day, those quick pop-up storms that they're here 1 minute, they're gone the next. These usually aren't long-lived or very strong. Okay. If you look over here on the left side of the screen, on upper side, that's what a pulse storm looks like on radar. That's when it kind of pops up. If you were spotting in the field, that picture underneath the radar is what you would be looking at. And like I said, most of the time these single cells they pop up more during the warm months. Of course, they can't pop up anytime, but we get a lot of these during the summertime. Multi-cell thunderstorms. This is what we had today. It's cluster thunderstorms. Most consist of clusters of storms in various stages of development. As one cell dies, its outflow helps trigger cells along the cluster to last for several hours. They can produce small to moderate hail, downbursts, and even weak tornadoes. Back in 20 early 2000s, 2020s, 21, something like that. Out there in Ocean Beach, we had a downburst that took out the King's Plaza out there in Ocean Beach. It flat out leveled that place, the good part of that place. So these multi-cell cluster thunderstorms is what normally we saw them today. We saw them yesterday. Luna, enough. Squall lines. Squall lines are going to be something that we see quite a bit too. We saw that I think it was Thursday night. Squall lines, also known as multi-cell line, is a line of thunderstorms with high winds and heavy rain, often extending for hundreds of miles. They form along a distinct boundary like a cold front and are characterized by intense straight line winds. So when you see the squall line, you normally associate it with, like they were saying, the strong winds. You're going to have like your straight line winds. That's where the damage from that mostly comes from. But even you, so let's just go to the top picture. That's going to be a shelf cloud. It's going to stretch for probably hundreds of miles. It looks amazing when you see it in person. Usually, you start to get a little bit cool when that gets closer. The winds will start to pick up. Then when it's right over you, it gets really cool, and the winds just go crazy. Once it's past you, the winds are pretty much still, and you get a whole bunch of rain. On this radar, you'll get notches. When you get notches, that's where you're gonna get your small stand-up tornadoes like, Driveway Mills, Warsaw, uh, oh, what's that other one? Barnett. They had all of them quick tornadoes, I think it was Thursday night with the little notches. Supercells. These don't happen nearly as frequently here in Missouri as what they do, say, in Oklahoma or Kansas. The Joplin tornado was a supercell. The one in, I think it was 2011, that was a supercell. Matter of fact, the one they had last night, the one just over the Kansas border was a supercell. The one in Eden, Oklahoma, well, again, was a supercell. Supercells are highly organized, long-lived storms that can live 1 to 4 plus hours, characterized by rotating updraft called a mesocyclone. These are the most dangerous producing these are the most dangerous. They are producing the majority of large and violent tornadoes, very large hail, and extreme winds. So, a lot of your, like, PDS tornado warnings, if not all of them, I won't say all, but for the most majority of them are gonna be your supercell storm. Um, I would venture to say all, but I don't know. I don't have anything to back it up, so we'll just say most. The Joplin tornado, the Eden tornado, they were all just individual supercells. The El Reno tornado. So, what makes a thunderstorm severe? Well, in order for a thunderstorm to become severe, it must meet certain criteria. 58-mile-an-hour winds or greater, quarter-size hail or larger, and a tornado, or a tornado, I should say, not a. So, obviously, if you get a tornado, they're going to issue a tornado warning, uh, but it's still in the criteria area. But primarily, the 58-mile-an-hour winds or greater, and the quarter-size hail, or quarter-size hail. You don't have to have both to get a severe thunderstorm warning. You could have just one. What is not used to consider if a storm is severe or not? Lightning. Lightning, while dangerous, lightning not alone does not make a storm severe. By official definition, all thunderstorms contain lightning. Now, when you're out storm spotting, the more lightning you have, the more frequent lightning you have, the more intense the thunderstorm is going to be, or is. The more lightning you have, the more it's growing. Flooding. Flash flooding is a major hazard of many storms, but it's considered a separate warning category, not a defining factor of a severe thunderstorm classification. So you do have flash flood warnings, but that's not considered a severe thunderstorm criteria for it. It is important to mention that structural damage, like downed trees, broken windows, is often a key indicator of severe storms. But you have to kind of figure out why did that tree fall down. Tree maybe in saturated ground that's already loose and it just a small gust of wind knocked it over. I mean, yes, that's important to mention, but not all downed trees or broken windows indicate severe winds or severe thunderstorms. So, what's the difference between a watch and a warning? I used to teach homeschool co-op when Allie was a lot younger, and we homeschooled her. Well, I taught severe weather classes, and I loved it. One thing that really caught on was this taco watch and taco warning. It's really easy to understand for a lot of people. So, a watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather. All the ingredients are there, but they're not actively happening. A warning means that the severe weather is imminent or already occurring, yet you must take action. So look at it this way. When you're making, say, Taco Tuesday, you're getting ready to sit down and make tacos. Well, you have your tomatoes, you have your cheese, shells, your lettuce. You have all the ingredients right there that you need, but you haven't assembled them to sit down and eat yet. So when you have all the ingredients, that's your watch. Okay, whether it's severe thunderstorm, whether it's flash flood, whether it's blizzard, any kind of watch. Well, you've assembled your taco. Everything is combined. All your ingredients are there on in the shell, the meat, the cheese, all of it. You're sitting down, you're eating it. Well, there's your warning. All your ingredients are there and it's happening. You're getting ready to sit down and eat it. So you now have a warning. Again, tornado, severe thunderstorm, blizzard, any kind of warning. This doesn't just pertain to severe thunderstorm. Okay. So hopefully this taco watch and warning makes it a little bit easier for people to understand what the difference between much of one is. Events that occur in severe thunderstorms. Remember, in order to have a severe thunderstorm, you have to have quarter-sized hail or larger, okay? I put events in occur in a severe thunderstorm. I should have just said thunderstorm, not severe. So, imagine I didn't put that word severe there. We'll just leave that out. Events that occur in thunderstorms. Hail from quarters all the way up to softball and larger. Springfield got slammed with softball-sized hail today. 4 inches. The National Weather Service office down at Branson Springfield Airport, they had confirmed 4-inch hail right there at their office. Tornadoes. Tornadoes occur with thunderstorms. So does lightning, straight line winds, very heavy rain leading to flooding, and microbursts. If you look at the picture up here on the right of all of the I'm looking at my TV as well, guys, because it makes it easier for me to see the small stuff. Quarters, the red where it says severe limits is where it starts, right there at the quarter, and then it just goes up from there. Grapefruit hail. Iberia had grapefruit hail like 2 weeks ago, something like that. So in the last month, we've experienced every inch of this hail chart from quarter all the way up. So we were talking about downburst a little while ago. The picture underneath that hill chart is a microburst. So what a microburst is basically the bottom part of the storm gets so weak that the precip just comes rushing out of it. It busts through the cloud. It comes smashing down to the earth, down to the ground. Um, it could reach tornado speeds, 100 plus miles an hour. Once it hits the ground, so it goes down and it hits the ground and disperses, and that's where your damage comes from. The Kings Plaza tornado, Kling Kings Plaza microburst, or otherwise known as a downburst. Um, that's all it is. It's just a precip falling out of the cloud. These are some apps and links. Okay, uh, got them broke down into each category. So radar apps. Radar scope is a good one. Weatherwise is a free one. I just recently started using Weatherwise the last couple of storms, and I absolutely love it. So Weatherwise is a free app, but they also have upgrades that you can do. Even for me, there's only one upgrade worth the actual upgrade that I use. Other than that, I will probably just go back down to the free edition because it has everything I need, and I can just switch from velocity to uh, reflectivity. So GR level 3, that program is kind of expensive, but I use it a lot. I love it. Radar Omega. I've not messed with that one a whole lot. My radar. That one I used to use long before radar scope and any of that. And then WSV3. So I don't know a whole lot about WSV3. My computer's not beefy enough to handle it. But from what Patty and all of the people over there at a few of the people over there at Skywarn, they use WSV3, and it looks like it's a killer program. So eventually, once I upgrade my computer, I will probably start using that one and see how it does. This is just a list of few. I'm sure there's a whole bunch more out there. Like WeatherBug has theirs. The sad part is with a lot of your news station apps, they have radar on them. But it's a weird radar. It shows a lot worse than what it actually is, or something that may not be there. So them are kind of iffy. Uh, Forecast apps, like your hour by hour, your day by day. KY3, I use that all the time, hour by hour, day by day. KSPR, Color 10, KRCG, and Weatherbug. So, like down here south of Osage Beach, we have KY3, uh, Color 10, and I think KRCG. But KSPR, if I remember right, is in Bay Beach and north. That's out of Columbia. So watches and warnings. Anytime that we post watches and warnings in last, and I mean anytime, it comes from one of these 3 right here. And SPC and NOAA are almost hand in hand the same, but all warnings comes from SPC. They're the top of the food chain. Then they filter it down to the weather station, the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service filters it out to like the news stations and stuff like that. We get all of our watches and warnings from weather.gov. Okay. Uh, Sometimes we'll pick them up from SPC, maybe if weather.gov isn't posting it right away. But mostly it's all from weather.gov. All right. Next month. Next month we'll be going over storm spotting and tornadoes. And this will be May 20th at 6:30. Of course, that weather permitting, same as it has been for a while. Uh, Mark your calendars for May 20th at 6:30, and we'll be doing it here on YouTube like we are tonight. So, let's see. Okay. Karen, did you get your audio fixed and was everybody else able to hear it? Guys, if you weren't able to hear me tonight, it is recording and it'll go on to our YouTube page where you can go back and watch it later on. So, Kev, you don't have audio either. Anyway, I'm not sure on the audio part, guys. We'll have to play around. Um, okay. So Hannah, is a downburst damage due to winds? Does a downburst also entail super heavy rain? So your downburst damage is more just because of the rain. So you got your thunderstorm here. Let's see, you can have to go a little bit higher. So you got your thunderstorm. So the base drops out of it. Is good today. Okay, Jay, thank you, bub. The bottom comes out of your cloud. The rain comes flying down to the ground. Well, once it hits the ground, it's going to spread out. So the damage is going to be from the rain, not necessarily. And this is like super intense rain. I mean, it's so much rain that it will level things. Okay. Um, like I said, the super heavy rain comes smashing down and it spreads out. So any of the damage that occurs during a microburst is going to be spread out because of the rain, because it hits the ground and spreads. So hopefully that explained that a little bit better. Hannah, I will find a little bit better explanation on microburst and I'll post it in our chat so you can kind of get that idea. I'll also post it in L.A.S.S so everybody else can see it as well. So does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So then we'll go ahead and end this for tonight. Yeah, absolutely. I'll find some stuff and I'll post it so you guys know is what I'm talking about with the microburst. Microbursts are really they don't happen very often, but when they do, they're kind of awing. The one that I was talking about in Osage Beach, myself, Dan, and Rusty were all in Osage Beach when this happened. We happened to hear the scanner traffic and we went over to check it out. And I mean, it flat out leveled part of that building. So, okay. Anything else before we call it a night? Oh, come on. Where's my mouse? Nope. Nothing else, guys? All right, guys. Then I really appreciate. Let's see. Then I really appreciate everybody. Yep, you're welcome, bro. All right, guys. Everybody, thank you for attending tonight. And like I said, we'll do the next one. I think it was on the 20th at 6:30. So each month we'll do something a little bit different. Steve, you're very welcome, bud. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Everybody have a great night, and hopefully we have some downtime with all this weather. So until next time, guys, we will talk to you later.